In today's recap on the aviation industry, there's coverage on AirJapan, which is a new airline set to be launched by All Nippon Airways. We then move over to Emirates, who are announcing network expansion news, and then American Airlines, who posted some fantastic results, but still lag behind some of their fierce competitors. Let me begin with Emirates. Emirates has revealed that it'll expand service towards South American destinations of Rio de Janeiro and Buenos Aires as travel demand increases. Emirates says from the 7th of December 2024, it will add a fifth frequency between Dubai and Rio de Janeiro, with the additional flight set to operate on Saturdays. Through the latest adjustment, the airline will boost its overall capacity and also support the growing regional demand that they're witnessing and why they've increased the service. Interestingly though, you'll notice I mentioned Buenos Aires as well as Rio de Janeiro. That is because this service to Rio de Janeiro is intertwined with onward service to Argentina. This will maximize convenience and increase connectivity options. Essentially, think of it as a bit of a triangular route. Operated as EK427428, the airline will offer a two-class configuration aircraft with tickets already on sale. These will equate to some 302 seats in economy and business. Emirates says that those that choose to board business class will enjoy a spacious and also private experience. If we're after the schedule, EK427 will depart Dubai at around 8:05 in the morning, arriving into Rio de Janeiro at 3:55 p.m. After spending 90 minutes on the ground, the aircraft will not return to Dubai, but will head towards Buenos Aires, with a touchdown just close to 9 p.m. It'll then depart back to Rio de Janeiro before losing 2 days all in all before it arrives back into the home of Emirates, that being none other than Dubai. While these latest adjustments will further boost operations towards South America, they're hardly the company's first commitment to the area and won't be the last. Additionally, Emirates forecasts many positives from this new flight set to be operated. The 777 offers cargo capacity of around 20 tons per flight, this per Emirates, and therefore transporting regional exports from Argentina and Brazil to those in the Middle East will become more accessible. Emirates sees very positive repercussions from this, and is a massive incentive as to why they've also increased their frequency offering. Meanwhile, thanks to existing codeshare partnerships with companies such as Azul, LATAM, and more, further onward travel to more remote destinations in South America that are not served by Emirates currently with their mainline aircraft will also be possible. But let's keep this show rolling and move over to American Airlines, who have reported record full-year revenue of approximately USD 53 billion, among other fourth quarter and full year 2023 financial results. American Airlines saw passenger revenue total USD 48.5 billion from air transportation. However, areas such as AA Advantage, mileage credit redemptions, amongst more are included. Cargo revenue came in at USD 812 million, and other revenues sat at 3.5 billion, bringing the total to 52.8. I could say USD in front of every one of the future figures, just know though, that is what I'm referring to when I say the amount. So, with that in mind, operating taxes totaled 49.8 billion, with some of the highest expenses coming from fuel and related taxes. This isn't abnormal, in fact, per a lot of airlines reports, this is something that was their highest expense too. That sat at 12.3 billion. However, the most significant costs actually were salaries, wages, and benefits to their employees, which was 14.6 billion. American Airlines further cited that maintenance costs for their regional and mainline fleets were in the billions too. Other rent and landing fees exceeded 2 billion. So total net profit for the year came in at 822 million, which was an increase on the 127 million net profit recorded for 1 year prior. Obviously, there's been a lot of recovery in the last 12 months, and that is very indicative of the results that we've seen year over year. However, one of the main things that analysts are focusing on is these net profits do lag behind that of other airlines, making up up the big three within the United States. That is your United Airlines and Delta, and often who many people will compare American to. There were other focal points, don't worry. American said that it actually enjoyed its best fourth quarter ever and full year completion factors. Throughout the year, debt was reduced by $3.2 billion. At its current pace and based on outlook, the airline believes it'll be able to reach its 2025 total debt reduction goal. At the moment, it is more than 75% of the way, which is positive to say the least. With almost 2 million flights across the 2023 calendar year on mainline and regional partners, American reported that load factors were around 83.5%. Additionally, the airline said it was pleased to report the lowest mishandled baggage rate in company history over the holidays. The American Airlines fleet also closes in on 1,000 aircraft if we're strictly talking their mainline. This is at 965. The regional fleet is at 556. The airline is continuing to reduce overall fleet age. This is achieved through the welcoming in of next-generation narrow, but also wide-body aircraft. On to the final story of today, and that sits with none other than AirJapan by ANA, who have announced that they will be launching service to Singapore Changi from Tokyo Narita. This will commence on April 26th, 2024, and is the airline's third route to be announced. AirJapan will operate service between Narita and Singapore's NQ3 and NQ4. Departures will occur on Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, thus equating to a 5 times weekly flight. The launch of this service is what AirJapan says has been timed for when the second aircraft is set to arrive in April. AirJapan has also said that flights towards Bangkok and Seoul Incheon will be increased to daily promptly, but obviously a lot of the scheduling is permitted on when aircraft can arrive. The airline will exclusively operate with Boeing 787 Dreamliner aircraft coming across from ANA, which is why I'm showcasing ANA footage, with destinations in Asia initially being announced. These Boeing 787s are configured in all economy, which means the company has managed to cram 324 seats in on the 787-8. Quite the effort. The Japanese aviation sector, we know, has heated up recently, especially highlighted with Japan Airlines' launch of Zip Air. This a low-cost entity which has been essential to allowing JAL to venture into not just new markets but compete with more airlines, offering an attractive price model while not needing to, say, change how they operate as just Japan Airlines. But one of the biggest problems identified by fierce Japanese competitor ANA is it did not have a venture that it believed could offer a similar service. Thus, beginning proceedings with AirJapan formally can be viewed as a response to these developments. But analysts also go on to argue that the birth of AirJapan will also aid ANA in competing with companies such as Scoot. This low-cost alternative is part of the Singapore Airlines group and yes, has shaken up the industry with low-cost flights and left others scrambling. You may be noticing that there is a theme behind these airlines I'm speaking of, that being Zip Air is part of Japan Airlines, AirJapan is part of ANA, and Scoot is part of Singapore Airlines. You can let me know your thoughts on any of the stories covered in today's video down below in the comments. I really do appreciate your support here on the channel. It certainly means a lot. Please do take care and do also be safe. I will indeed see you next time for more coverage on the aviation industry.
And we'll fly.